All right.
Yep.
Okay, Bud gave me the finger. It was a good finger though. He's just pointing at me like go. But anyways, Hoagie's Garage podcast Ginchies Wednesday night. I'm gonna run through our sponsors real quick. We got Rapid Graphics in Rock Rapids. I did a pretty nice job on the old push truck, by the way, Bud.
He did, awesome.
Mount Tabor Cabinetry with Chris Fizzle out in central Pennsylvania. Morning Sun Marketplace with Rick Fritz out in central Pennsylvania. My race
Maybe
pass,
we should say Rick and Sue.
Maybe. Sue ain't never called and chewed my butt yet. So we'll run with that. But I'll find out this weekend or next weekend when I'm out there because I'll be hanging out with them a little bit. My race pass, if you don't have it, you need to get it if you're into racing because they cover everything. S2F, start to finish. It's another streaming service. They cover the Power I, several tracks.
These guys.
Power I, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power I, IRA.
IRA, yep. Okay. Houston Speedway, got first night under the belt. Good night, got done on time. What was it, 10:30 we were done?
Great time.
Turn 2 Lodge down in Knoxville. Literally what it says, there's a place to stay outside of Turn 2. Kaiser aluminum wheels for all your wheels and hubs and all your racing needs. Of course, Fulkins Brothers Trucking. Can't go without them guys. They take me places, you know. Got to be nice to them guys. Heartland Hardware and Appliance. They're in Brandon, South Dakota, George, Iowa, and Hayward, Iowa. And then we always like to mention Hero Haven. And we don't want to forget our good friends Snow and Shane with the Lumber Lounge and Garage with their bench racing. I think they got a show tonight, too.
Yep.
Going to cut into our program probably because
those son of a guns.
Yeah.
They know we do Wednesday.
I know, and then they switched to our Wednesday. I didn't say anything yet about it.
No, I was just kidding you. It's all good. So, all right, we're going to get going here. Hey, Hoagie's Garage. And tonight, Tobe, we have Jake Blackhurst on. How you doing, Jake?
Good, guys. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Oh,
thanks for putting up with us. We want to warn you too. We do have the Outlaws on behind us, so sometimes if we don't say something after you quit talking, just cough or something to get our attention because maybe we watch the race. I don't know.
It'll be told because
they're
it's
tonight.
Yeah,
Are they racing tonight?
Yeah, they're in Canada.
Yeah,
they're running really weird schedule. They run tonight and tomorrow and Sunday.
Oh wow. Yep, that is different.
That's what happens when you involve Canada.
Evidently, I don't know if that's the metric system up there.
Dang it, man! I needed to get it turned on.
Well,
take a second. Tove and I will just stall.
We'll just visit. We'll find something. Oh, that guy had a bad night. He done spun her out.
So Jake, tell us a little bit about yourself. As far as, are you single, married, kids? Where do you live? Stuff like that.
I got a girlfriend, no kids. Been with her for a while. She's big into racing, so that's a very big positive. Her dad actually builds sprint car engines, so.
Oh, can't go wrong with that. Hey, do you get a discount on yours, or don't you run his?
we won't talk about that. But no, it's a great family. Yeah, Manny's actually he raced in the Knoxville area for many years in his younger days, and yeah, we've been together for a little while, and she loves going racing. So what more can a racer ask for?
Absolutely.
I'm fortunate that way too. My wife likes to go to the races with me, so that I don't get in trouble for going to the races. So it's a win-win.
That's the best, ain't it?
Yeah, you bet.
So where do we call home, anyhow?
I'm originally from Farmington, Illinois. I live outside of Peoria right now, little town, Hen City.
Okay.
Awesome.
I've been to Peoria once, bud.
You bet. Yep. You're going to have to talk louder, Tove.
Am I?
Because,
how can they not hear me? I'm always loud and obnoxious.
I don't know. I'm just going by what
your little fancy meter thing says?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me scooch over here a little closer to you.
Jake's really good, and I'm good because I yell every time I talk, so.
Well, my wife tells me because I'm deaf, I talk too loud all the time.
So, Jake, how'd you get started into racing? Was it a family background thing, or did you just start out of the blue?
No, that's the craziest thing. Actually, I started when I was 5 years old, so 24 years ago. I pretty much get to live my dad's dream. He always wanted to race, but never really had the opportunity to race. He was always working, or just at the time couldn't quite, do it. So I was 5 years old, had no clue about anything of it, and I walk in the house and there's a go-kart. Of course, I didn't know what the heck it was or, what it was going to lead to, but we went go-kart racing when I was 5 years old. started traveling, a handful of years afterwards, and boy, it sure led into a lot of, into something. We got into midgets, and then, he swore, you're never going to get into a sprint car, and, here it is now.
Okay, that was a pretty big gap though. So you went from go-karts to midgets. How long did you run midgets? What age did you get into midgets?
Oh, shoot, it was, oh man, it's been a while. Probably 2000 and, I was probably 13, 14 years old when I first got into a midget. It was a Kenyon midget. They were based out of, Mel Kenyon and Don Kenyon. They've been around for years. It was based out of like Indianapolis area. I ran that for I think just one season. Then we got into the USAC Ford Focus stuff. Ran that for a couple seasons, and then got tied into the full USAC Power Ride midget stuff when I was probably 15, 16 years old. Ran that for about 3 years, maybe 4 years.
Did you say I'm deaf like my wife says? Did you say Ford Focus or what did you say that first one?
USAC Ford Focus.
It was a Ford Focus midget. USAC regional series. They had a Ford Focus midget. I don't know what year it was. I can't remember. Probably 2008, 9. Right, maybe 2008, 2009. They had a Ford Focus midget. They used to run out at Turkey Night when the big midgets would go to Irwindale, California. They would have the Focus midgets for the preliminary event.
When you say Ford Focus, I think about the little 4-door car.
No.
That's why I had that. See, my brain works weird ways.
Nope. It was your standard, midget. It just had a little Ford Focus, just a stock motor that.
Okay.
That younger group of guys ran.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm catching up now.
We learn stuff every time.
Every time we have somebody on, because everybody knows more about racing than we do, bud.
So how did the midget stuff go?
We were pretty successful. The Ford Focus midget was really good. We were actually, I wouldn't say dominant, but we won a lot of races. Never quite won a championship because we just didn't quite run, the full schedule. But won many races. I won the Turkey Night, Toledo, Ohio, a lot of races. But we got into the national midget, and we were good. Contended for a title championship with Power I in 2012. We won a race. I think we ended up 3rd or 4th in points, but we had some engine issues that kind of relinquished our chances of winning. But we were pretty successful. Didn't really stay into it long enough to really learn a lot and try and get dominant. We just went straight into the sprint car stuff.
So
did you jump right into the 410s, 360? What'd you start out with right away?
We had both. My first races were in a 360. Ran a handful, but we ended up buying Dad bought a 410 off of Galen Fox. Foxco raced the engines, and pretty much just went straight to 410s. There's not much 360 stuff in our area. We got the MOA sprint cars. I'm sure you guys have heard of that.
Yep.
That's pretty local. So we ran a lot of that. Never ran a full schedule of that either. We were just kind of, hit and miss. Went and had fun. But it was 2018, actually, the year me and Dad won our first championship. They were racing in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Of course, it was before, Illinois could started their season. So we went up to Beaver Dam. We ran very well. Actually, passed Bill Baylog on the last lap, ran second. We're like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is easy.
You're right. No. I'd like to say. But, and then it was a fun group of people. Everybody was really talkative. We weren't really the outcasts.
Yeah.
So we ran, the next handful of races, and we were doing really good. We were, top 5, top 3. We were on the podium every other night. It was nice. So then that's what really, kind of started our sprint car, running, full time as much as we could, because that was the year we actually ended up getting kind of reeled into a championship run. We weren't expecting it whatsoever, but we were running good. We were running up front, and that's what kind of got me to where I am now.
Yeah, absolutely. So after you were running up there, because you're running IRA full schedule now, aren't you?
Yep, correct.
when did you start doing that, or when did you start switching things up?
We started in 2018. 2018 was my first full year with IRA.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So let's see, 18 and over. So that you got 6 years under your belt. You're in your 7th then.
Yep. Just started our 7th. Yep.
That's them brain pills, bud. They're working.
So how has the IRA treated you?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a great group of people. I go up, everybody's friendly. We go up there, everybody's willing to help out. It's a really good group of people. And Steve Sinclair with the IRA, he runs a great series, takes care of all of his drivers. And, ever since it started, it's been, it's what I want to do. I'm a carpenter at home, so I can't really go out on the road full time. So that's just what I've really called home, is racing for the past handful of years.
That's good.
So I just got to throw this out there a minute. Snow is lying because he says we're looking good as always.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's lying to make us feel good, being he's cutting into our program for tonight.
So
anyway, where were we?
You do construction at home. What kind of work do you do, and is it your own business? And if it is, let's promote it.
Nope, I work with the guy out of here, outside of Peoria. Build homes, just big remodels, bathrooms, you name it. On the construction side, we pretty much do it all.
That's awesome. You've been doing that a long time?
Probably about 6 years or so, I'd say.
So it can't be a long time, buddy. Ain't that old.
Well, you never know when he
In
started.
our terms, it's not that long. How long you been teaching?
I've been, let's see, I started in 94, so 31 years.
Okay, me too. I started in 93, so I'm going to have 32 in here next month.
Yeah, so.
So them are a long time, but see, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, see, we're old. So, what tracks are your favorite?
Oh, shoot. I like all the ones I do really well at, so... no, but my favorite tracks to race at was... I've always really liked Burlington, Iowa. I've always ran well there. Track's always been great. I absolutely love Cedar Lake. And then Superior, Wisconsin. It's way up north. It's a track we don't get to race at much, but man, it's really fun. I love going there. I can't wait to get there later on this year.
Well, Iowa, Iowa's the first one he mentioned. Iowa's a good state. So,
yeah. So you guys are going to be coming down to Jackson, Minnesota. Have you raced there much?
I raced there in 2019. I don't like to speak on it much because I think I led 25 and 30 laps, but I did have a good time.
Well, Peck led 29.9 laps the other night. And
Oh, I watched that. That was devastating. My heart was gutted for him.
That's tough to swallow. Well, he said, I'm choking on it. He's choking for a while, he said.
Yeah.
So.
That's one of those ones as a driver, you just can't sleep on at night, but
Yep.
So
he's a hell of a driver. He'll find his way back up there.
Oh, yeah. He'll get one yet here before too long.
when did they change the track at Jackson? Was it still the half mile then, or was it changed by then?
I never did get to run the big track, so I'm not really certain. I would assume it might be going on 10 years, I would think.
Okay.
That was in 19.
Yeah.
Not quite 10 years.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things seem like it was yesterday.
Oh.
So, the car you're driving now, just because we don't know anything, is that a family car yet, or are you driving for someone?
Nope, I'm driving for someone.
Okay.
The family car actually stopped midway through 2019. I drove for a handful of guys, but these guys that I'm with now, I was actually buddies with a guy named Levi Curry. He was always helped out with Parker Price Miller. I'm sure you know that name.
Yep.
And he's from about 35 minutes south. And he called me after I stopped driving the previous car, Mike Erner's car, and said, what's up, Jake? You want to run a handful of races or whatever? And I was like, yeah, we'll run, I don't know, half dozen races a year. And it really turned into, we're running full-time IRA and, probably 15, 20 other shows if we can. And it's really nice because it's only, I don't know, 35 minutes from the house, so I get to work in the shop as much as possible and be around the old team.
Yeah, that's super nice if you ain't got to drive 3 hours to get to the car or something.
Yeah, and that was the way it had been for, you know, the past handful of years.
Yeah. So back when it was your family car or your midgets, whatever, it's always kind of fun to hear what numbers you had, and was there a reason why you had a certain number on the car?
So when I first started go-karts, I was number 25, all the way up until me and Dad ran sprint cars. And it's a pretty funny reason. I'm, you know, from Peoria. My mom graduated with, you know, the name was Jim Tomey. I'm sure most of you guys know baseball.
Okay, a little bit.
Jim
I don't
Tomey,
know.
I mean,
Yep, I recognize
he's
the
in Hall of
name.
Fame.
Yep.
You know, we were actually family friends with Jim Tomey, so that was the whole reason I was 29. And from there on out, it was just, I never did, you know, bring my number along, whatever the team was. I just, you know,
Sure.
that was fine with me. That's what we
Yep.
always ran.
Yeah. Now, I reached out to you because, you know, we were going to have you on last week, but something came up. But you had just won an IRA race, and that's why I reached out to you so we could talk about that.
Well, we probably should while we got him on the phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know,
A brief recap on
Yeah.
the event.
Oh yeah, it was. It wasn't last Saturday. It was a Saturday. Yeah, two Saturdays ago.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good night. And the crazy thing was, we went out and you know, practice or whatever. And I came back in. I said, "Boys, we're terrible." I don't know what it was. But we were terrible. It was one of those nights where, you know, I felt good. The car kind of felt good. We were slow. So we were like, "Oh shoot," you know, we were all bummed out. But you know, frankly enough, we got started in the front row of a heat race, won it, put ourselves in the dash, which is obviously what you want to do. And, you know, really ever since the heat race and the dash, man, we were great, we were fast, track slicked off, we were good. And it had been so long since I'd won, I think I led most of the race, really. I'm telling you, the last handful of laps, I looked up at the screen, it said 6 to go. I don't think I took a breath until the checkered flag, you know, it's been so long, but I did everything I could to give it away. Of course, the last lap, you know, I take the white flag, I go into 1 and 2, jump the cushion. Oh shoot! I see the guy running second. I see his nose below me, so I, you know, get on the gas on the back straight, dive into 3 and 4, miss the bottom, and I'm like, oh no, someone's gonna blow by me. Like, this is the way it's gonna end. But you know, lucky enough, we got it done, and it was definitely a good feeling. It had been a while.
Yeah.
And, well, every win's a good feeling, but yeah, if there's been a little drought, then they're even better.
Oh, absolutely.
What would you say is your most memorable win?
Probably my very first 410 win I had in sprint car. It was with Dad, and it was at my home track right here in Peoria, Illinois.
That's sweet.
That's awesome. Doesn't get much better than that.
Cool. So, and you know, with all the friends and family there, Tony Stewart was there, so that made, you know, everybody thought it was even more cool. So it hyped up the whole night. It was awesome.
You were still
Now-
walking on cloud 9 the next day.
Tony Stewart was
Yeah, I loved it.
Tony Stewart was racing.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He was still in the sprint car. This was 2017.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, you're gonna have to take a lesson from them big shots when they interview some of them guys, you know, like Rico and whatnot. They always talk about having to focus on their breathing. Sounds to me like you might want to do that if you did it.
I'm one that definitely needs to take a lesson off of it. They're offering, I'm there to listen.
I don't know about Bud, but I'll guarantee I couldn't hold my breath for 6 laps. I'm maybe good for 15 to 20 seconds.
Might not have been a realistic statement. I sure think so.
You weren't breathing proper, like, let's put it that way.
Correct. Yep.
What's your schedule look like for a little bit here? Not your whole schedule, but just next week or so.
Yeah, this weekend we actually go to we're up north in Wisconsin. Friday night we go race in Dodge County Fairgrounds. It's in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And then we go to Plymouth, Wisconsin on Saturday, and Sun Prairie on Sunday, Angel Park Speedway.
Okay.
So we got a busy weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll be watching Saturday night anyhow.
Yeah. How far away are those tracks? Is it a lot of driving or not bad?
They're all within about an hour and a half from each other, but most of them from me are probably, I would say, at the 4-hour mark.
Yeah.
So not terrible.
Will you stay up there or will you go home each night?
Yep, we'll stay up there. We'll
I
get a
figured.
hotel each night, wash the car, hang out, and yeah,
Yep,
do all our maintenance each day.
yep. So, how
See,
about,
I think it would be good for people, race car drivers, to mention where you're at, because I think there's people that would like bring you free dinner and stuff like that. I think you guys need to start doing that on Facebook. Hey, we're gonna
be at the Holiday Inn.
if anybody wants to help
Beaver
us
Dam.
with a little food.
No kidding, that sure would be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it though?
It'd be better than eating Casey's Pizza or something every time. Not that there's anything wrong with Casey's Pizza, but with anything you eat it every weekend, it gets old.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Since we haven't mentioned it yet, we got Jake Blackhurst on. How about apparel? You got like a website for that, or is it in the trailer? Or how do you guys take care of your apparel?
No website. We just have the IRA trailer. They have a merchandise trailer. They have, I'd say, probably most of it. And then our race trailer has the rest. But my girlfriend, actually, she takes care of all that. So you can send, myself or her a message on Facebook, and that's how you can get it.
Okay.
that's awesome. How about giving us a quick rundown of some of your sponsors?
Yeah, my biggest sponsor is Ryan Auto. Mike Erner. He gives us, I think we have some of the best engine program up north. He gives us our engines, thankfully, and Aurora Farms over here outside of Lincoln, Illinois, Chopstick Forge and Bars, Elite Wings, and everybody else that just helps us out. Feeds us a little bit, keeps us going.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
That's awesome.
Absolutely,
That's awesome.
it sure does.
All right. Well, we're going to hit you up with some rapid fire questions here, and that way you can get back to work. You got a busy weekend. So, what's your favorite kind of ice cream?
You're probably going to call me crazy, but I'm not really a sweet eater, so I definitely don't even eat ice cream.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that. I can't say
No,
that, but
no,
nothing wrong
no.
with that.
Very, very rarely, if I did, it would be a once in a blue moon, but it would probably be I don't even know what it is, a cookie dough flurry or something.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that. Cat or a dog person?
Dog, big time.
What do you got?
I got a Labrador. He's a red lab.
Oh, red lab. Okay.
Those are a little rare.
Weighs about 115 pounds. He's a big fella.
Big dog.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
My brother had a yellow and a black. Never
Yeah.
had a red one.
I've had, I think everything but chocolate. Well, I shouldn't say everything because I haven't had red, but I have yellow and chocolate before. So now I have 2 yellows.
There you go.
Do you have any hobbies other than racing?
Hobbies would be anything outdoors, hunting, fishing. Love to golf. Absolutely love to golf. But other than that, it's just hang out with my buddies if I'm not doing, fishing or golfing.
So,
Okay.
what do you fish for?
Largemouth bass for the most part.
Oh, they're fun to catch.
Yeah, I love
I'd
that.
rather eat crappie or
Oh, yeah.
Perch,
now
but-
you're telling me, geez.
bass are a lot of fun to catch.
Crappies.
Now I gotta ask too. You said you love to golf. Are you any good at it? Just in case we, happen to run into each other, if you challenge us to a golf game, I want to know if I got to pull a bad back card or anything.
Well, there's a wide range of good within golf. Recreationally, maybe. Actually, good at the sport, absolutely not.
Okay.
Then we're
Then we
talking.
can golf.
Then
Then
we're
we can have
talking.
fun.
Yep.
Let's see. How about a favorite movie?
I don't watch much movies. My favorite movie would probably be Rocky Balboa. I love every single one of them.
There you go.
Don't they have a new one of them coming out again?
I think they came out with a new one a handful of years ago. I don't know if they have another one.
I thought, or maybe it's a Rambo. Maybe it's another. I don't know. I thought I seen another Sylvester. I thought that boy's got to be getting old at some point in
He's
time.
old.
But
Yeah.
either I thought I saw where there was a Rambo or a Rocky one coming out again.
Do you
Could be. I'm not sure.
do you prefer
But I definitely watch it.
do you prefer snow or rain?
Ooh, gosh.
Or neither.
Oh no, there
Well, I do not like probably rain.
probably rain.
That screws up more racing than snow does.
Yep.
If you were going to be stranded on an island, what album or type of music do you have to have along to listen to?
Country music or classic rock. Country or classic rock.
There you
Now,
go.
the new country or like 90s and 80s country?
Very little of the new stuff. I'm not.
Ah, boy.
Probably most of the early 2000s,
Yep.
90s stuff, I guess.
Do you have a favorite place to go out to eat?
Any good steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
Oh,
Love
boy.
a good steak.
Can't go wrong there either. How about
Love
a
good
favorite?
steak.
How about a favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yep.
Hand in hand.
Yep.
Food and
Good meal.
Yep.
I love being with my family. So, either one of them.
How many speeding tickets do you have? We like to ask this race car drivers.
You know, I've actually done very well. I've got 3, but all 3 of them was when I was 17 years old. So, it's been a
Ooh.
long time.
Did you get to keep your license then, or?
I did.
Oh.
Somehow. They weren't all within the year. I think, maybe I was 16 and then turned 17. They were all within a year, but
Okay.
they were when I was much younger.
So as you've gotten older, what's the fastest you've ever driven on the highway or ridden with somebody in a car on the highway?
I'm not really much of a speedster when I'm driving, so probably, I don't know, I'd still probably say we went 100 mile an hour or something.
Okay. Well, you get
I've
your
driven much faster in a race car. I've
There
never-
you go.
never
Get your
been
speed
that
fix in a
fast
circle on the dirt,
highway.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
Get yours on the dirt in a circle, so we're good.
Yeah.
What's your go-to drink or favorite beverage?
I don't really drink much soda, so I don't know. I'd say just water or maybe a Gatorade, blue Gatorade.
Jeez,
Sorry,
the guy
just-
doesn't like ice
doesn't
cream.
like ice
He
cream,
doesn't
don't
have
drink
soda.
pop. I don't know what we're gonna do
It
if we
makes
ever meet
us
up
look
with him.
really bad.
Maybe that's why we're out of shape.
We got
and
ice
old.
cream sandwiches in
Yeah.
the freezer. We got
Pops in the
pops right
fridge.
here. Oh, speaking of that, we got
Mine's
to
in the
get
freezer
yours out.
getting cold because I can't drink my pop warm. Snow sets a 6-pack of beer out in front of him during his show and drinks it all warm. I can't do it. So I get them good and cold. Just pulled it out of the freezer. Thanks, bud.
Yep, you gotta have it out. Yeah, no warm.
A little bit slushy is good with me. That's
Last one.
last
Tope.
one. Okay, if you just won the lottery, you had all the money in the world. Is there a car, a boat, a pickup, a plane? Is there anything you'd always wished you could have owned, but you just can't have the money for it?
Probably a full-blown healthy sprint car team, if you had to be honest.
There you
That would
go.
work.
That would work.
One with an open budget, great big fancy hauler,
Yep.
Absolutely.
probably the motorhome to follow it around with. I see where we're going with this.
Exactly.
You bet. Well, Jake, thanks for coming on our little podcast. Yeah, we've been doing it for 3 years, and we just love finding out, all about these different drivers. It's so fun for Tobe and I to have a chance to do this. So we really appreciate it.
No, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Hopefully, one day we'll give me a call again and we can chit chat after. Hopefully, we got a couple more wins under my belt.
Oh,
Hey.
we can probably do that.
Absolutely. So,
And we're-
and hopefully we'll see you maybe up at Jackson.
Jackson, yeah, we're
We'll
kinda-
try and make it to
Yep.
one of those.
We're kind of planning on it, but
we'll be there.
there's never a guarantee with us if we'll carry through with our plans. Sometimes they fall apart.
Well, we'll be there. You guys hold your end of the deal.
All right.
We'll do what we
Sounds good.
can.
Thanks.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Jake.
Thank you.
Best of luck the rest of the year.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Grab me a koozie while you're over there, will you, bud? So my pop stays cold in case I don't chug it.